Think about it statistically. How many people actually get shot by the cops? It's like really, really unlikely, right?
What are you talking about?
This was another one of the most underrated movies last year. It felt like nobody really talked about it. No one really cared to give it a chance. And that's kind of sad because I think Emergency was actually a pretty good movie. And it was fantastic. This is directed by Carey Williams. And this came out on Amazon Prime last summer. This stars a pretty good ensemble cast as well. This movie is a 2022 comedy, drama, but also coming of age film. This is directed by Carey Williams. It was based on a play or something with the same name, I think, or original screenplay by the script writers. The stars R.J. Cyler, Sabrina Carpenter, so many other good cast members in this movie that I will give a mention to. But basically what we're going into the premise of when it comes to Emergency is that this movie tells the story of a group of college kids, of course. They're out for one night of partying, of course, and one night at a college party, 3 college students must weigh in the pros and the cons of calling the police when faced with an unexpected situation. This was a very good film that, like I said, this is a movie that, like I said, I don't think gets enough credit from last year. I think a lot of people just overlooked this movie. And this is a very powerful film that I left pretty good. This was an emotional roller coaster, but there was also some very funny moments in this film. It is a comedy, but it is also very dramatic. So this is a really good film. And I will say, I think the direction by Carey Williams is very solid, is very well directed, and is very well written by K.D. Dávila. This is only the movie that I've seen him write. But I thought the script itself was very good, aside from a few shortcomings, but I definitely walked away very much into it. I thought the storyline of these 3 college kids was riveting, it was touching, it was heart-wrenching, and it was emotional, but it was also pretty intense. But the most of all, intense. And this movie, while it was funny, I did find myself pretty much constantly disturbed by some of the stuff with the topic, what do I do now in this type of situation? Because in situations like this, especially nowadays with the police brutality and great social commentary with police and racism, this could have easily been one of those movies that kind of beats you over the head with it. But the way the director and the writer chose to go about it, it feels like it's very well done and very well respected in terms of what it could do. And I felt like the way it went about it, that in a lot of us, we deal with these situations. What do we do now in these situations, and how we think of these situations and how people deal with it? Because this is everyday shit we gotta go through, y'all. And there are a few moments where it kind of gets a little repetitive, but the transition that it went from a funny movie to being a drama in less than 40 minutes, and the fact that it talks about one of the worst days for a pair of college students, I thought was great. And I also thought the final act in this movie was very good. And I think that the performances in this movie are very good as well. The premise itself was very interesting. It came together in the ways I was very much liking, and I thought that the movie overall did a very good job of what it was setting out to do. And what I admire when it comes to Emergency, like I said, these are certain themes that we are playing on when it comes to police brutality and racism. And I know we've been there before with these type of stories, but I felt like the way the direction was going about it and the way the story was moving at the pace that it was, I found myself interested because these movies, you always gotta have something to say about police brutality, because this shit is not easy to talk about in movies. It's barely easy to talk about in TV shows like 911 and The Rookie, which I don't watch those shows, but I have family members who do. There are thousands of other people who do. And talking about those type of situations can be very heartbreaking to watch. But for me, easily, I think what the movie really excels at is just doing what it set out to do. So definitely goes for it when it comes to that. And I was thoroughly entertained with the way it was going in. Like I said, direction is great in here. The directing is good here. I definitely love the directing. Cinematography wise and editing wise and all of that, I think is very well done. From an editing standpoint, this movie is very well edited. You have a good editor by, of course, Lam T, Nguyen, and Michael Dallatorre does good cinematography work. I thought the score by Rene G. Boscio was very good, and I also did like some of the soundtrack as well. So those things are really did good. But again, the movie would not be what it is without the performances. And the performances in this movie are all across the board strong. We'll start off with R.J. Cyler, which I first saw this actor in the Power Rangers movie from 2017, which I still, to this day, wish we got a sequel to that. I would love to have seen a sequel to Power Rangers 2017. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But I thought that his performance was very strong. He was very committed to the role, and he was very good. I'm still waiting on him to get that big film that is going to make people see that he's good. He was good in The Harder They Fall, great Western from Netflix. He is very good. He's a breakout standout in this entire movie. And he is very likable. He's charismatic. And I thought he was really very good in the role, of course. You also have Conley and Carlos, who I thought Donald Ellis Watkins and Sebastian Chacon as Cooney and Carlos. They did a very good job in the roles as well. I thought they were very good for what they had to do. They're all stuck between a rock and a hard place in this movie, but I thought the way that Sean warns these characters about the repercussions of reporting something to the police and they're attempting to get out of this without concerns, I thought was very good. On the other hand, I do like this other storyline of the group of girls, of course, which I thought the group of girls did a very good job here. You have Madison Thompson as Alice. She was very good in the movie. Maddie Nichols as Emma was very good. And you also had the always talented, the always lovely, underrated talent, the amazing and fantastic singer and actress, one of my music crushes, Sabrina Carpenter, which she is very underrated. I'm still waiting for her to get that big movie to show that she is great, but Sabrina Carpenter was also very good as well. The group of girls, their story, I thought converged very well in terms of what they were able to do, and I thought they did a very good job in their roles too. So these two storylines, the way they converge and the way they play out was very good here. And you're in it for the mystery to win it. It's not trying to have some big reveals of how these characters get there in the first place. Not trying to get a big convoluted plot twist there. I just think for there, it does know exactly what you're going for. It's very simple. It's very good with is combining genres. So I definitely appreciated that. And there was some anxiety level moments in this movie that were very anxiety inducing. So for that, I definitely have to agree on some of this. My only real issues when it comes to this movie is I feel like the movie kind of overstays its welcome by just an hour and 45 minutes. Now, it's not badly paced, but there's maybe a few minutes of dragging that kind of does kick in. And some actors here of the main 6 could have had a little bit more to do. And I do wish they put a lot more surprises into the ending of the movie. And it does tackle familiar themes going on today, which is one of the things that is kind of an issue, but not really, because I really enjoyed the cast and the direction so much. I was willing to go along with it. But ultimately, I did walk away enjoying Emergency. I thought this was a very entertaining college comedy drama that had something to say, and I thought it did a pretty good job.